Alright, so you probably clicked on the video because you're wondering how much fucking effect hit rate do you actually need on this character. You got 10 different people telling you different builds left and right. Well, don't worry, I got you guys covered. I've done all the maths that you need to know, no clickbait, no BS. This video will provide you guys with a complete guide for Silverwolf and explain the exact number of effect hit rate you need, as well as the energy regen and everything else. So let's jump right in. Let's start off by talking about her skills and get this out of the way first. If you guys don't want to watch this, feel free to jump to the part that you want to. It won't hurt my feelings, trust me, I'm a tough guy. Her basic skill, Allow Changes, has a chance to add one type of weakness of on-field ally into the enemy, as well as reducing the damage resist to the type for 2 turns. But with a trace unlocked, it adds an extra turn, so basically 3 turns. Keep in mind that the enemy can only have one type of added weakness at a time, so if a new one is added, it will replace the old one. There's also a 100 base chance to reduce all types of resist by a small amount for 2 turns. Her ultimate is actually pretty simple, it's basically an incredible amount of defense reduction that lasts for a whopping 3 turns. Next, her talent. Silverwolf can create 3 types of bugs, which are reduce attack, reduce defense, and reduce speed. I have tested this out multiple times, and the way this works is when you attack an enemy, it will add a random bug to them, and the following attacks will apply the ones they don't have already. So for example, if the enemy has attack reduced won't be added again, but instead it's either reduced defense or speed. I think the way that they made her talent is pretty nice, so you're not gambling to apply different ones. And finally, her technique. She deals 80% of attack to all enemies and ignores weakness type and reduces toughness. What this means is, even if the enemy does not have quantum weakness, they'll be hit as if they did and applies the quantum entanglement effect. In terms of her skill priority, it should be ultimate, skill, talent, and then basic attack, which you can honestly just leave at level 1 because her other stuff are way more important to level up. Now let's get to the complicated part which you guys all want to know. Starting off by which Lycone should you actually use on her, and is a 5-star Lycone actually worth putting or not? I will only be talking about 2 Lycones in this video, her signature 5-star one and the one you get from the event, as I believe these are the only 2 that you should be using on her. There's gonna be a lot of maths behind this, so listen up carefully. Actually, I think it's easier to talk about the whole reasoning behind this along with the calculation when we get to her stats and relic, so yeah, you guys just gotta trust me on this part, but I'll give you guys the TLDR. My opinion is, do not pull for her 5-star Lycone unless you have her at Eidolon 1, and I'll explain everything very shortly. If you only have her at E0 and you're not planning to get her Eidolons, I think that's perfectly fine because her 4-star Lycone actually provides a lot and it makes her way easier to build. Alright, we can finally talk about her single most important stat that Silverwolf's entire character is built around, hit rate effect. And how much do you actually need on her exactly? So the way effect hit rate is calculated is through this formula right here. Base chance times effect hit rate times the enemy's effect resist. Previously, 40% effect resist was the benchmark for a lot of the enemies in Memory of Chaos, but in 1.1 update, Mihoyo just announced that they are lowering the effect resist pretty significantly for most enemies above level 50. Now, while they haven't said how much exactly it will be decreased by, so in this video I'll be using 30% as the benchmark, as it was previously 40% for enemies in Memory of Chaos. So as you guys probably already know, Silverwolf's skill hit rate increases with levels. And as you guys can see over here, the percentage is different per level, but I'll be using the number at her level 10 skill, which is 85%. Although right now most of us are only able to achieve level 6 to 8, I wanted to use this number because we'll eventually get there soon enough, and I don't want to give you guys an effect hit rate number that's going to lose value over time as your gear gets better and as we progress through the game. I see a lot of people talking about how you need to have that effect hit rate on her cloak, blah blah blah, but I'm telling you, you don't need to, and here's why. Her event Lycone gives 40% hit rate as Super Imposition 5, and when you unlock all the traces, you get an inbuilt 18% hit rate. So in total, you're getting a 58 bonus effect hit rate without any gear. Remember the formula I said earlier? So if a skill has a base rate of 0.85 times 1.58, which is a bonus effect hit rate, times 1 minus 0.3, which is the enemy's effect resist, it equals to 0.94. So we're already at a 94% actual effect hit rate, and if you want to achieve a 100% hit rate, then you only need a little bit more at 68.1. This is also one of the reasons as to why I said the 4-star Lycone is really good. Basically, if you want to have it at 100% to make sure it's guaranteed, You just need to find 10.1% extra hit rate somewhere in your gear, and you can just build your crit rate cloak instead of some random guy saying you need to have your hit rate effect on the cloak. So yeah, no you don't. But the story changes when you're using her 5-star light cone. Assuming you only have the 5-star light cone at Supreme Precision 1, it gives you 24% hit rate, meaning that 24% plus your inbuilt 18 is only 42%. Using the formula once again, we can see that it will come down to 84.49 actual rate, which is pretty good, but you need another 26% to achieve 100% actual rate. So if you're using her 5-star light cone, hopefully you can get a substat in some of your gear, or you can use the Pan-Atlantic ornament set for 10% more, making her real rate 90.4. Before we jump into her relic sets, I want to talk about how much energy regeneration you need so that you can maintain a full uptime on her ultimate, which is going to be really crucial, not just for her own damage but also the team's damage. So her ultimate's defense shred lasts 3 turns, which is pretty long actually, and you want to keep the shred running the entire fight, which is actually pretty easy, especially if you're running the 4-star light cone. But in order to achieve this, we're going to need to talk about some more maths. I apologize if this makes your head hurt, but I'll try to make it simple as possible, and so listen up. First, let's understand how much her ultimate actually costs. Her ultimate costs 110 energy, and just to let you know, every time you cast a skill, you generate 30 energy, and if you do a basic attack, it's 20 energy. And one important thing that I need to mention is that after you cast your ultimate, your energy doesn't actually go back down to 0. It actually goes down to 5. So you use your ultimate and you're at 5 energy, and you have 3 turns to get this back up to 110. Like I said earlier, your skill generates 30 energy, so let's say you use your skill once, that's 30 energy, basic attack twice, that's 20 energy each, and you end up at 75 energy, which is clearly not enough. But this is where her 4-star light cone actually shines and comes in to save the day. You regen energy on every attack, and it's guaranteed because the enemy is defense reduced due to your really high base rate of your ultimate actually, meaning 75 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8, which comes to 99. Now you just need a little bit more. Now if you slap on a 5-star energy rope, it gives you 19% regen at max level. So the maths is 99 times 1.19, which is 117 energy. This makes it just enough and actually a little bit over, meaning that if you're using her 4-star light cone at Supreme Precision 5 and you check on an energy rope, it will allow you to maintain full uptime of her ultimate defense shred. But once again, the story changes if you're using her 5-star light cone. On her 5-star light cone, there's no energy regen, so it gets a bit tricky, but let's do the maths. So once again, after using your ult, you have 5 energy, plus 30, plus 20, plus 20, you have 75. If you throw in an energy rope, we're only at 89.25. But what if we include the Von Whack effect set? Still, it's only at 93.71, meaning that we won't be able to charge our ultimate within 3 turns unless you have really good speed boost, or you make someone like Bronya to boost you up, which is not ideal because you want to use it on your DPS. This is why I was saying that you should only pull for her light cone if you have her at E1. You can only achieve charging her ultimate within 3 turns if you want to use the 5-star light cones by having her at E1 and using an energy regeneration rope. So using the energy regeneration rope, we're at 89.25. Now her E1 gives you 7 energy based on how many debuffs the enemy has. So if you can trigger it 3 times, which is plus 7, plus 7, plus 7, being just enough at 110.25. Of course, you can argue that if you get hit by the enemies, you can regenerate some more energy, but this method is just not reliable. So if you follow what I've said so far, you don't need the effect hit rate cloak that some people were telling you to use. You can just run crit cloak, speed boost, quantum damage on an orb, and energy regen on a rope. Now finally, what ornament sets are the best? My top picks are Space Sealing Station, which gives you more damage, or Fleet of the Ageless for a more supportive build. If you're missing some of the effect hit rate because you're using the 5-star light cone, Pan-Atlantic can help you out with the 10% extra like I said before, but don't get baited by the line here because it's absolute trash. Even at the max hit rate of 68.1, which is what you need, a 25% attack is only 17% attack increase, which is omega low, and the Von Whack set is another bait in my opinion because if you have the 4-star light cone and you're following my build, you don't need it, and if you're using the 5-star one, it doesn't really help anyways. Finally, there's only 2 relic sets which are viable, which is the Quantum set and the Musketeer set. Quantum is obviously the best one, although its 4-star effect is more beneficial for a DPS like Zila. But if you don't have any good pieces, you can also run the Musketeer set, as the speed boost is definitely nice to have. So yeah, that's it for the video. I know there was a lot of maths involved behind this, but if you stayed till the very end, I really do appreciate it. If you found the video useful, please leave a like and subscribe. That really means a lot to me, and I'll see you guys next time.